If you're watching this video, please give it a like, subscribe to Instant Revenge, and share in the comments where you're hearing this story from. I'd love to know how far it's traveled. My sister Margaret gave me $80,000 for my 64th birthday, insisting it was for renovating my rundown house so I could live with dignity in my later years. That very night, I awoke to muffled voices in the living room and crept down the dark hallway to overhear my son Marcus and his wife Jasmine plotting to split the money, half for their new apartment down payment, half for a European vacation. My heart shattered as I stood hidden in the shadows, but I said nothing, slipping back to bed in silence. The next morning, I confronted the empty air with just 3 words that made Jasmine turn pale on the sofa, whispering to Marcus, "Honey, what are we going to do now?" It was too late. After 64 years, I realized silence could be my sharpest weapon. And that night, it shielded me from their greed. My name is Eleanor Hayes, 64 years old, living alone in a home I barely recognized anymore. The walls bore damp stains, the roof leaked during rains, and the kitchen carried a faint gas odor whenever I lit the stove. This house had been my sanctuary for 30 years. I raised Marcus here, buried my husband here, cherished every worthwhile memory within these walls. But now it felt like a hollow shell echoing all I'd lost. Marcus, 42, worked in tech in the city 2 hours away, married to Jasmine, who eyed me like outdated furniture cluttering her flawless world. They visited monthly at best, arriving in their shiny SUV for 2-hour coffee chats at my wobbly table before vanishing. Marcus would peck my forehead, urging me to care for myself. Jasmine smiled tightly, scrolling her phone as I spoke. I never asked for anything I'd learned begging for, and offered love only humiliated me. So I stayed quiet, brewed her preferred coffee, and waved them off with a hollow smile. When they left, the house sank into heavy silence, reeking of loneliness and forgotten dreams. Margaret was my opposite, 68, divorced 2 decades ago. She'd fled to California for a fresh start, building a tailoring shop and saving diligently for comfort. She was decisive, fearless, never tolerating disrespect. I was the quiet endurer, sacrificing for peace. 3 weeks before my birthday, she called excitedly, "Eleanor, I'm visiting with a surprise you've long needed." I protested, but she insisted on celebrating my 64th and restoring what life had stolen. Her arrival infused the house with forgotten vitality, fresh flowers, chocolate cake from the finest bakery, wine for dinner. In the dim living room amid worn furniture, she clasped my hands with courageous eyes. "You've given your life to others, husband, son, this house. Now you're alone in decay, undervalued. I saved this through years of toil. Use it for yourself, fix this place, live with dignity." She slid a thick white envelope across the table. $80,000. "Eleanor, yours, make it a home." You waked eagerly, stunned. Tears burned my eyes. It was a fortune, more than I'd ever touched. I refused, but she demanded my promise to prioritize myself. That night, under yellow lamplight, I gazed at the envelope, envisioning a repaired roof, new pipes, painted walls, fresh furniture, hope flickering after years. The next day, Marcus and Jasmine arrived unannounced for an early birthday wish. Margaret greeted them coolly. She'd never trusted Marcus's inherited coldness. Over lunch, she mentioned her renovation gift. Marcus perked up. "Great, Mom, this house needs work. Must cost a fortune." Jasmine nodded calculatively. "Eleanor, we can help manage funds, hire contractors, Avoid scams. Margaret shot me a warning glance, but I smiled and shifted topics. Unwilling to suspect my son, Margaret departed that evening, hugging me fiercely. God, that money don't reveal the amount. Call if needed. I hid the envelope under my bed in an old box. $80,000 in cash awaiting my dreams. Peace settled as I planned renovations. But at 2 a.m., voices jolted me awake. Heart pounding, I tiptoed to the hallway, peering at shadows in the lit living room. Jasmine whispered excitedly, $80,000 your aunt gave her cash. She's wasting it on this house. We'll struggle for our apartment. Marcus chuckled nervously. Mom doesn't know what to do with it, Jasmine pressed. Offer help managing it, hire workers. Take what we need, half for apartment, half for Europe. Fake invoices if asked. Everybody wins. Silence. Then Marcus, okay. Tomorrow we insist on helping. The world froze. I braced against the wall, legs shaking, rage and betrayal surging. I retreated silently, tears flowing, not just sadness, but fury at my nurtured son's theft plot. Dawn found me resolved, no confrontation yet. I'd watch, wait, act shrewdly. At breakfast, I faked cheer, slept well. Marcus kissed my forehead. Jasmine praised the coffee. Then, Mom, about Aunt's gift, it's complex. Let us handle workers. Negotiations, you just provide the money. Jasmine's hand on mine feigned tenderness. I replied softly, generous. But I'll manage alone. Frustration flickered on Jasmine's face. That afternoon, alone, I wept for lost innocence. Then counted the bills, $80,000, Margaret's love. I wouldn't let thieves claim it. Next morning, I called Margaret, voice trembling as I recounted the overheard plot. Her fury boiled. That cold boy, I knew it. Deposit it today, your name only. Tell no one. If he insists, say you're hiring directly, my life. At the bank, purse heavy with envelope. Nerves frayed, Manager Thompson. Widened eyes at $80,000, but processed a sole access, savings account. Relief and sorrow mingled, safe from my son. Marcus called that night, decided on help. I breathed deep, appreciate it. But I've deposited it, my account only. Handling myself, cold silence, then fine. If that's what you want. He hung up abruptly, emptiness hit. But power surged, I controlled my life, days blurred. Marcus vanished, I planned renovations. Quoting workers, feeling purposeful. Neighbor Ruth, 72. Lifelong friend with warm smiles. Brought coffee cake, you seem sadder, what happened? I poured out everything, she held my hands. You protected yourself, strength in brokenness, she warned. He'll return with anger, guilt, victimhood. Don't yield, I prepared mentally. 2 weeks later. Marcus arrived alone with groceries, bribes. House looks unchanged, start renovations yet. Tension in his jaw, we talked in the kitchen, why reject help? Worried you'll with so much money. Anger rose, but controlled. I've managed 64 years, raised you. Survived widowhood, capable. He paced, stubborn, don't trust me? Irony stung. My affairs now, he escalated. Help, family loan for apartment. Visit more, manipulation clear. Gift for house, not buying visits. His mask cracked, selfish. He stormed out, this hurts, prefer strangers. I called, love you, but no decisions for me. Silence followed. Jasmine came next, elegant but insincere. Worried about Marcus, he feels rejected. I cut through. No, you're once not getting it. Sweetness vanished, waste on old house. Help, blood, I stood firm. Gave everything, lifelong now mine. Contempt fled. Regret alone, no help, slam door. I trembled in relief pain mix. I defended myself, but lost my son or realized I never truly had him, Ruth consoled. Courageous boundary pain means you're human, renovations loomed. Contractor Mr. Davis, honest, praised the house's bones, then. A lawyer call, Marcus seeking asset administration, alleging my incapacity, panic. Called Margaret, she raged, connected me to Arthur Warren, gathered neighbor testimonials affirming my competence. Arthur arrived, we'll stop him countersue for abuse, prepared rigorously. Marcus called, didn't want this, you left no choice, I revealed overhearing. He admitted, bargained down to $20,000. Threatened loneliness, testimony now, hung up. Documented all, summons came. Hearing in 3 weeks, anxiety peaked. But Arthur armed me with evidence. Court day, Marcus avoided my gaze. His lawyer painted me erratic, isolated. Arthur countered with bank proof, testimonials. My prudence and the plot testimony. On stand, I detailed the night. Deposit, call admissions. Judge denied application, ordered Marcus pay costs, manipulation, not protection, victory. Marcus fled furious. Home, I called Margaret prideful tears. Marcus phoned apology. Became unrecognizable, sorry, I forgave love but closed door. Can't risk hurt, renovations. Transformed the house, $62,000 spent. $18,000 saved. Margaret visited, toasting courage. Months later, Jasmine apologized post-separation. No easy money. Nothing left indifference. Chapter closed. Now, in my reborn home, cream walls, solid roof, blooming garden, I wake peacefully. Silence my weapon, patience my power. Revenge, living well on my terms. This life quiet, mine, perfect.